The Gifted, and I'm here with a very important message for what will probably be a smaller group of divine feminines. So keep in mind this message may not be for you. It is from a group of divine masculines that is mad at you. And that's where I'm just like, all right, this can't be for everybody because some of you guys haven't even spoken to them for that to be the case. But I will say this, it does seem to be about the last communication that you've had. Okay? So even if it was years, weeks, months, whatever ago that you talked to them, they're thinking about that moment and they are extremely triggered. And I believe that their triggered energy is going to trigger those of you who this is for and isn't for. Because it's just kind of like, what? You're mad at me? So let's see what it is that we need to know is going on. So they're having some clarity in their life. Clarity about the way things happen in the past. So this, okay, I will say this is good because this means they weren't just thinking about you and getting mad. They're thinking about a lot of things right now. And I think this seems like ruminating. If that's what's happening, they're not just triggered by the thought of you, they're triggered by all the thoughts that they're having right now. Yeah. There is this feeling of needing to go with the flow of energies, which is telling them to move forward. But I think that there's a part of them saying, like, no, I'm not moving forward until I get some closure. And I want closure on this. I want closure on this. I want to know what happened here. Hold on. We do see that there is something going on in the divine space pushing them, like an energy pushing them forward. And there's something going on in the spiritual space of them being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But in the physical, I think they're triggered and overwhelmed. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So you can see this is them. You can see the rod. You can see how they're using this inspiration. They're ready. 13, 14. We saw death. We saw the temperance energy. This is telling us that the sun is setting on something and rising on something else. And this is kind of that night, like the darkest before dawn moment. And they're thinking about everything that's to come. And I think that they're a little frustrated. You know, I won't even say a little. I think they're a lot frustrated, if I'm being real. The energy that I feel is like, I don't know. It's again, it's mad. I don't there are not a lot of feelings that low vibrational or unawakened divine masculines allow themselves to feel. You know, so this is like, I'm sorry that the only word I can give you is I'm angry. They're raging inside. And again, I don't think this is just about you, but I think they've kind of lumped you in to this, everybody from my past is against me thing. So let's see if that's actually true though. Sometimes they project, they assume, but sometimes if we hear people out, we realize we were at fault. So this is going to be weird. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what. I don't think this is just like ego angry. Like, oh, I'm beating my chest and I'm mad and I'm finding someone to blame. I think this is deeper. So look at the 13, okay, that we have here. I'm telling you, we've got 10. You see the ego death. You see the just general ending energy. We also saw that 13. We see the dawn rising behind her head. I think that this is an opportunity to learn something, whether you were right or wrong and whether they are right or wrong. If we can just get to the point of the message, I think that we can learn something very important that can help us move forward. Okay, let me just shuffle this. Okay, so how do you want to do this, Grace? I'm guessing, here, let's split this. And let's just kind of, again, I do feel very strongly the energy that I was getting that led me to finally just say, fine, I'll do the reading. Because I don't know what's going on, but I feel like there's a line of divine masculines at my door right now. all wanting to air their grievances. Can you tell my DF this? Can you deliver this message? It's been happening in my personals. It's been happening on my phone calls, especially on the phone readings. We're getting these very clear cut messages where the divine feminine kind of gets a little freaked out. Like, Grace, you shouldn't know that. That's not something that just shows up in a general reading. How would you know that? How are you finding this that's so specific? That's something that I can show you the screenshot of the text. I'm talking about freaking out. So whatever's going on, these divine masculines know I'm going to deliver the message to the best of my ability, and I'm not going to sugarcoat, but I'm also not just going to dog them for no reason. So just be prepared for that. If you're new to my channel, if you're new to me, I'm the chick that had a lot of homeboys, but also had like really close, great, positive female relationships with always like one good woman. So I'm not against anybody. I'm not for anybody. I'm just here to deliver facts. Hopefully, whatever comes through, I can actually help interpret, you know, between the two of you guys. So, oy vey. Whoa. All right, that should be enough. So, here, I'm gonna pull one more. Oh, look at that. This one, huh? Sideways? Okay, so let's put that over there. And now let's get some cards. Woo! Okay. Thank you. And one more for the end. All right. Overall, I think that even though everyone's last conversation might have had a different degrees of difficulty, different variables in terms of what are we actually talking about, whatever, for the most part, it's all going to stem from one energy. What is that? Ooh, okay. Friendships, who we hang out with, that came up the other day in a reading where I think it was the Hierophant. If not, it was similar energy because it was saying the people around me have been encouraging me to do something that may not even have my best interest or your best interest at heart. It's really, they're making it about them. Kind of like a group of guy friends telling your divine masculine, you know, not to date you so that you guys can all continue, or they can all continue their debauching, what is it, debauchery and all that stuff. So this is interesting. It's saying, look, this is about people, or this is about traditions or beliefs, whether this is like a religious thing or not. I'm going to tell you, I feel like it's probably on a smaller scale, like indirectly related to that. But I think this is about what made them think it wouldn't work between you two, what made them think you wouldn't be a good fit in their life. It's tied to some belief they've held. And I don't know if they've changed this or not. Maybe that's why they're mad right now, because they haven't, or they have. I don't know. What do we need to understand that we're missing? Oh, wow. They are really looking forward to a time of peace, love, and abundance in their life. And I think this is why they're getting triggered and trying to make some changes to anything that might tempt them to look back and go back to the past, go back to old behaviors. So this is serious. These people, they want to change. And for some reason, they're thinking about your last conversation and they're mad at you. Okay. Why? Because I'm not on my way. Reversed. I'm on my way, but I'm not on my way. No, this is what you think. Oh, okay. You think that just because I'm not coming your way, that I'm not on my way. And that scares me because everything that I've been dealing with, everything I've faced lately has basically humbled me. And I could have given up so long ago. I should have given up so long ago with how I think and how I feel and everything I believe. I shouldn't even be doing what I'm doing. I should have just said, fuck it, and moved on. And I'm working my ass off right now, trying to make these things happen, make these things work. And a lot of that had to do with you, and you don't even believe me. I'm sorry. Why? So you're mad because we don't believe you, but you are sorry. So what did you do? Ooh, page, for being a child, for not paying attention to the things that I was supposed to. See, this is where this is coming back up. Oh, wow, and you know what's underneath? 5 of Swords, yikes. This changed everything. These beliefs, whatever, these people, whoever this is, this was the key to the whole situation from the past and why things were not changing, why things were always staying the same. And I think what this is saying is now that I'm moving forward, now that I know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, I get that there's a lot that I missed. And I understand that for you, your perspective is that I'm just really childish or immature, that I'm never going to grow up and do what I'm supposed to do. And I get it. In the past, there have been things that I've done that are like that. But am I ever going to be enough? Is it ever going to be okay for you? Like, can I do what I'm supposed to do? Or is it always going to feel like I'm trying to hurt you or go against you? Are you ever going to give me a chance to prove that I'm not the same person I was and I've grown, I've changed? Look, I'm not perfect and I'm kind of afraid to even have contact with you right now because I feel like anything I do wrong is either going to trigger you and we're going to end up like losing contact again, or it's going to just kind of prove you right because you only see me in this one way. Please pick up the phone. We have to talk about this. We have to talk about this. There's no way that we cannot have a conversation about how things went. You know, Grace here. I got to tell you, I really do feel like this is divine feminines who might have popped off a little bit the last time you guys spoke. It might not be for everybody, but I'm going to say at least half of the people who are meant to see this message, you are absolutely wrong for how you talk to them. But you don't need me to tell you that. You already know that. But you also know that the way they were talking, the way they've been talking, the way they've been behaving kind of led you to it. You know, again, it's like I really think they're ruminating on that conversation. I don't remember who it was, but I think it was Aaron Doughty. I haven't watched a lot of things for a long time like that. So I don't really remember who, but like 4 years ago, I saw this person say that one day they walked into a room in their house that they don't really use as much, like I don't know, like a den or like a guest bedroom, something like that. They were thinking about something really, really like tumultuous for their spirit. So they walk into this room and they're kind of pacing around in the room, thinking about it as they're doing whatever. And then they leave the room and they don't go back in there for a little while. And he said that the next time he went into that room, let's say a couple days, weeks, months later, whatever it was, he was instantly hit with those same thoughts he was having that day when he was really, really upset. Almost like the thoughts were just sitting in the room like a cloud, and he walked right back into the energy. I don't know why. And then on the other side, I see like the trauma aspect of how the body remembers. The body can physically almost go back. That's what PTSD does to some people or many people, is you think about the moment and your body, because it's already actually happened to you and you probably remember it pretty well if you haven't just completely removed it from your brain. As you start to think about the moment of being triggered, like if I think about when I used to get spankings as a child because my parents were extremely abusive and would go overboard with it, I can actually like find myself in this like, whoa, I'm intensely triggered. My adrenaline is rushing, like, whoa. And so this is a mixture of those things. Either something is triggering them to remember something because maybe they keep having to go back. Like maybe they were in the car driving the last time you were on the phone on the way home from work. And every time they pass that one spot on the highway, they go back through that energy and they get triggered and they think about it. Or it could just be that anytime they start to think about you, because it's such an intense feeling, all of a sudden they go back into those most recent moments, the triggers happen and they are physically feeling it. This is nuts. So yes, there is this energy that says you need to pick up the phone. I need you to pick up the phone because I need to be able to figure this out. And I don't like how this feels. Because it's one thing for me to be frustrated with you. That's not really normal. Not the way I'm frustrated with you right now. It's another thing if I think about this frustration I feel and realize you probably feel the same way too. I don't like us being in this uncomfortable energy. So, what do they want to say to you? Wow. I mean, are you guys getting this? Here we finally see him again with his rod. We see him with his pentacle. This is kind of letting us know, hey, here's how everything's come together. This is the past. This is, I'm sorry for what happened. I'm sorry for what I didn't pay attention to. But here and here is what we're talking about. And I think this is their frustration. It's like, look, the kingdom that I'm trying to build is going to take time and effort from me. I'm not just going to be able to just make it happen. If that was the case, we probably would be together and I'd be happy and I'd be a billionaire. But that's not how it works. And I kind of get the feeling here, Divine Feminine, they're looking at this situation and they're just thinking, of all the people to not understand what I'm trying to do, I never thought it would be you. Of all the people who don't get what's going on in my life and why things have been the way they've been, especially with my history, it's like you're the one who's supposed to understand this. So they want you to pick up the phone so they can explain to you that they have been weighing and measuring everything out, doing their best to logically deduce what comes next in their life, and they have picked a path. But they're worried that you're not going to honor that path. Wow, this is nuts. Okay. Now I want you to notice something. In this deck, if there isn't a period, a dot at the end of the sentence, I pull extra cards. It's like it says, "Hey, we need a clarifier." As I look at this, I'm on my way. Period. You don't believe me. That's why I'm upset. Because you think that just because I didn't take the path you told me and the directions you gave me, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get there. I'm sorry, period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I know what I've done. I get why you're upset. I get what led us here. But look, you've got to talk to me. We have to get this figured out because I am in love with you and I don't know how to do this any other way other than let's go for this. We have to deal with this. That's my way of doing things. And if not, I just run away from it. If I don't think it's something that I can solve, I don't touch it. And I'm getting so frustrated, and that makes me feel like this is mine. I'm supposed to have my hands in this. So I'm in love with you. And I'm trying to get out of the space of being so caught up in what everybody else is doing and just focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm really trying to do my best to learn and grow and continue forward. And now that I've reached this certain level of understanding, I'm starting to look at you and wonder, why do you see me like such a child? Just because I made a mistake or just because I hurt you or whatever, that doesn't mean that it gives you the right to act like I'm not a grown person. And I'm nervous. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm nervous. But it's not for the reason that you think. Okay? I'm nervous because I know that whatever I have to do right now to establish this new foundation, I've got to do it fast. I've got to follow my heart. I've got to purify my life and cleanse and clear things out. And I'm a little bit nervous and worried because, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Now, normally, isn't he more like an orange? But I see that they've changed a little bit. So now we've got red, red, red. I'm nervous because I have this vision, but I'm worried that the past is going to come back to bite me. And it's not just that I'm worried about that with you. I'm worried that the past is going to come back to bite me because I've been taught that you reap what you sow. And the truth is, in the past, I thought you were different. But as time has gone by, I'm starting to get this feeling like you're just like everybody else. But I know that's not true. We have to talk about this. We have to, because there's no way that I could feel the way I feel about you, but you're just like everyone else. That's not I'm learning to use my logic rather than just going with what I think or what someone's telling me. And I just want to know that we actually have a chance here. And right now, it just feels like we don't. It feels like we don't. And that really makes my heart heavy because all I want is to experience life with you. All I want is a path that we can both walk together. And as mad as I am right now, I know that there's something special, there's something happening here because usually when I get mad, I'm done. It's over. But here I'm so mad, and every time I find myself thinking about you, I get more mad, and it's like, oh, okay, clearly I care. So I wish you would just believe in me. I wish you would see that even the way I used to be, it wasn't really me. And I wish you would believe that whether I acted like it or not, I'm not really good at certain things and being in certain behaviors. It's like, but you know how I feel. I think that's what makes me the most mad, Divine Feminine, is I know you know how I feel. But you conveniently will decide when to believe me based on if I'm doing what you want me to do or not. And at this point, if I treated you how you treat me, they would stone me and cancel me. So we've got to talk about this. Because I'm scared that if we don't, it doesn't matter that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. All that will really matter is the bad stuff that keeps coming between us. I need you to believe in me. At the very least, if you don't believe that I'm a good person or that I haven't gotten to where I'm supposed to be yet, please just know that I have a good heart. Just remember, because it feels like you've forgotten who I really am because of the things that I've done, and I feel like it doesn't matter how much I say I'm sorry, you're just going to keep holding on to this because every time things get right with us, the moment things fall a little bit, you say the same stuff. You pull up the same things. You ask the same questions. And I just feel like we're never going to be able to make this connection if we can't get past this. Whew. Yeah, I gotta stop. This is a lot for me. This is a lot for me. I'm gonna get going. Yeah, that's too much. I don't like it. I don't like that. Again, if you had a fight with your divine masculine, you may want to talk to them. You may want to not be like in the space of like, they need to call me first. They need to text me. They need to apologize. Like if you know that maybe it took two to tango that day and you were not necessarily the kindest in the moment, just, I'm not even saying apologize, but at least be willing to have the conversation. If it's been a long time and you watch this, and even though you know this like isn't something that happened recently, but you know the last time you talked was really tough, they're still thinking about it all this damn time later. And maybe you might not get the chance to talk about this right away, but maybe you can start to think about what you would say. And maybe that can help because, again, these divine masculines are calling out of the blue. They've been calling out of the blue since August. I know it can be really scary when someone doesn't call you and you hear everyone's getting called, but that's the thing, is that you don't know when it's going to come. And if you're worried and thinking and waiting and watching, it's not going to come. You just need to be prepared. That's all. And I feel that this is meant to prepare you to take a step back and think about things, okay? If you made it to the end of this reading, leave something red, something simple like a heart. But I see all this red, and I just feel like this divine masculine is really trying to ground themselves and be honest with you and be truthful with you. And I want you to remember that this passion that came through might be some of the first contact that you've had with them in a long time that was just truly, authentically them There was no hesitation. It was just like, please, like, we've got to talk about this. So, for those of you who this is your situation, I'm so sorry that this has been the tension between you. And I hope that as you start to reflect and think about your side and things, their side, how it even happened, how maybe even how you guys end up in these arguments in the first place, I hope that you just get some clarity where you need it most so that you can move forward, okay? All right. I love you guys. This was a lot for me. I'm going to have to take a break for a few hours minimum. This was a lot. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. If you've been feeling this from your divine masculine, if you've been feeling this within yourself, I highly recommend doing some sort of whatever you do to center yourself, ground yourself, whatever you call it. Do a little something for you and on their behalf, okay? All right. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Peace.